Welcome to ICU Video's ProCast coverage of the 2019 Metro Edmonton High School Athletic Association Division I Men's Basketball Championship game from the Thunderbird Gym at Sheppard High School in Edmonton. Good evening, friends. I'm Kevin Donnan, and I'm proud to bring you the call of the second half of our doubleheader championship Saturday night right here on ICU Video. And I'm very proud to be joined by an Edmonton basketball legend, Steve Sir, who is a Ross Shepp alumnus. You played at every level of basketball. You played in city championships. We just saw the St. Albert Skyhawks win the women's Division I title. Let's, Steve, take us through the road to the finals for the senior boys.
Well, you can see that Jasper Place had a bit of a tighter one with St. FX in the semifinals. Harry Ainlay didn't have too much trouble in the first round, I was going to say. Yeah, it's true. And then a little bit of a tighter one with Scona. So I think we, just like in the first game that we had with the St. Albert girls and the JP girls, you got the two best teams. They've clearly showed that in both the games they've played so far.
And, of course, here is the regular season head-to-head matchup. Just a few days ago, really, Jasper Place with a narrow 90-86 win over the Titans. So the Titans have that one on their minds as they get ready. Of course, the Titans got to the title by defeating Scona, who took down. There's a look at the Titans senior boys roster. Of course, one of the guys that you really want to pay attention to tonight is number 2. He is he's a big part of the offense for the Titans, and he will run the floor for Harry Ainlay. There's a number of other athletes here. As you've mentioned a few times tonight in the St. Albert game, we've got a lot of athletes who are going to be graduating on to university and college ball. Here's a look at the 2019 JP Rebels roster. Very balanced and deep roster, of course. A very veteran lineup with about at least 8 grade 12. So the Rebels have got a ton of experience. Of course, Jasper Place, Harry Ainlay, Ross Shepp, those are the big three in Edmonton when it comes to basketball, year in and year out. And we have got the makings of a classic. Harry Ainlay Titans in the all blue, the JP Rebels in white. Steve, I'm excited for this one. As we mentioned, all of the preseason predictions going back to the fall of 2018, everyone was pointing to these two teams being here tonight.
Absolutely, and you know what? This is exactly why you have such a great atmosphere in the gym, and a really and a good buzz too. You can feel that people are excited for this game. You can count on both teams playing hard. You can count on both teams playing smart. They're both well-coached teams. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Here are the player introductions for the Titans.
Number 2, Owen Weaver.
Owen Weaver, grade 11 forward. Number 3, Tyler Burback, grade 12 guard. Number 5, Mac Natar. Number 8, Farid Chatou. And number 9, Josh Hoyt, the grade 12 guard. So a veteran opening lineup here for the Titans. Here we go. The Rebels of Jasper Place. The Titans and the Rebels. Although for a Shepp alumnus, this is a tough watch for anyone who graduated at T-Bird to see your two biggest rivals played for the city championship on your floor, Steve, but I won't bring that up.
You know what? You don't have to, because we whooped JP and Ainlay on this floor, so I'm not too worried about it. But you know what? More than anything, I think this is exciting because you want to see great things for high school basketball. I mean, I played high school 20 years ago now, and this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see the growth and the development of the game with having players that are bigger, stronger, faster, skilled, and playing in exciting environments, because this is outstanding.
Here we go. The city championship is underway. The men's Division I title game. The Harry Ainlay Titans in blue. They will start with the big 3. Won't go. It's number 9, Josh Hoyt, with his first attempt. Titans will rebound, kick it back out. That's Burbick. That won't go. And rebounded by the Rebels, who will get their first touch on the ball. Justin Rose kicks it out to the far corner. Good ball movement by the Rebels. Drives the lane. Little runner by number 9, Daniel McLaren, won't go. And a change in possession. Good buzz in the gym tonight. ICU Video bringing you the Division I men's title game earlier tonight. St. Albert Skyhawks with a 20-point victory over JP. JP looking to balance things out tonight. Big pass by Burbick all the way across the floor. 3 on the shot clock. Titans got to have a shot, and a bit of a prayer thrown up in the shot clock violation, and the Rebs will take over. So no score here in the first minute. And, you know, John Diedrich, the head coach of the victorious St. Albert team, said, you know, those first few minutes, it's all about the nerves. And right now we're seeing that a little bit, but nice little up and under there by number 14, Ben Crickey. Oh, and a big block by the big fella. And Steve, you mentioned in our pregame discussion that Crickey was going to be a force.
You know, I've known Ben Crickey since he was a junior high guy. We've spent a lot of time in the gym together, and he's had some great coaching. Ben's represented Canada on numerous occasions. He's a fantastic young player.
And so the Rebels run.
You got to keep your eye on Ben, and you got to keep your eye on a few other guys, but Ben's the big guy.
Malik Pottinger with the lay-in for the Rebels. Titans looking for their first points here. There's Burbick, now kicks it over. Shot won't go. That's Natar, the grade 12 guard, and Pottinger will dish over to the far side, top of the key now, Justin Rose. There's Crickey for 3, and the big fella, the southpaw with the soft hands.
That's something that Ben's worked really hard to develop over the last few years, is his further away shot, the three-point shot. And you know what? I think anyone who just saw him hit that, you can tell he's been working hard on the right things.
Open look for the Titans. That's number 5, Natar. And a good call. Good timeout here by the Titans. Down 7 already here in the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And right now, you have to say, Steve, the Titans look a little tight.
Yeah, and you know what? I think this is what JP does to you. They're big. They got some good athletes on the wing. People, you know, everyone on the Ainlay side knows that Ben Crickey's a player. And then, you know, it's similar to what we talked about with the St. Albert JP game. JP likes to get on run. They like to push a tempo, and they like to make the pace their pace. So right now for Ainlay, I think they got to settle in and try and figure out a way to play the way that they're comfortable. As you see Ben stepping out and hitting the 3. That's a tough matchup. I mean, Ben's 6'7". He's tough around the hoop. He's a really good rebounder. And when he's stepping away hitting shots, that's hard. Now, to add to that, Ainlay's they can't play on their heels. You know, this is an early thing in the game. A little bit of a rough start. Take a deep breath. Like John Diedrich said in his interview, like, play to your character, guys. Play the way that got you here. So I'm hoping that Ainlay can just settle in and get tough with JP. 2
future Rebels across the gym from us with the sign, Go Rebels Go. And right now the Rebels are off to a great start, leading by 7 here in the opening couple of minutes here. Division I men's title game, Edmonton High School basketball, and the 3 won't go. Natar. Some struggles early on from beyond the arc. Here the Raiders. Pottinger now with the big drive, loses the handle on the basketball. And the contact to the head, so Pottinger will shoot 2. Here's the replay here, Steve, as the contact, that's number 2.
It's an interesting late whistle.
Owen Weaver with the foul there. So,
you know, fouls are fouls. It's interesting when the whistle's late. That's hard to understand.
We have a great crowd here tonight here at the Palatial T-Bird Gym. ICU Video, so proud to be along with you here. Division I men's title game. As we said, the temperature outside is so painfully cold, but in the T-Bird Gym, it's hot. And so are the Rebels right now. They will run. Here's Crickey with the nice little reverse under, and there's Crickey, number 14, who's really made a statement here in these first 3 minutes.
He's big and he can get out and run. I mean, that's a hard matchup at the high school level especially. So Ainlay's got to figure out what they are going to be able to do well tonight.
What great defense by number 6, Justin Rose. And Pottinger just about went for a walk out onto 112th Avenue there, but he made it back in. He wouldn't have stayed out there very long in in shorts and a.
He would have sprinted right back.
He would have been right. I think that would have pushed him right back.
That's for sure.
On a night like tonight, but the action is hot here at the T-Bird Gym. Open look for the Titans, and it won't go. That's Burbeck. As the Titans, the shooting, they continue to struggle here early. Almost gone 4 minutes without a single point for the Titans. It's highly unusual. There's a near block and a big rebound by Pottinger. Pottinger doing it both ends of the floor. Pottinger now will spin, drive the lane, looks for Crickey, and it goes off the hand of number 10, Emmanuel Legale.
If you're Ainlay and you got a little bit of a size mismatch, the thing you got to be able to do is you got to be able to step up and hit shots. So, I mean, for them, they've gotten a couple looks. Now it's time to step up and put it in the bucket.
Here's Crickey now from the corner, and the 3 won't go. Rebound by Ainlay, Natar. And the Titans looking for any kind of optimism here, and the possession will maintain with Harry Ainlay. So an 11-point lead here for JP. The Titans still looking for a point. 4 minutes here in this first quarter, and the runner in there, no, won't go. Pottinger with the rebound now. Big chance here. Crickey down low. He'll convert. And Pottinger and Crickey are putting on a show here early in this first quarter.
You know, it shows what can go well for you when you run the floor hard. If you just do the simple things really well, and so far that's what JP's done. They've run the floor hard, and they've gotten it to their open guys.
Josh Hoyt for the Titans misses from the three-point arc. Here's Crickey trying to drive to the lane, and he will shoot 2. So
you see in the replay, that's what's going to be for Ben Crickey tonight. They're going to have 2 guys that are running at him when he gets catches like that.
Rebels up by Pottinger here will inbound. Looking for Crickey. Nothing doing. There's Rose, number 6, gathers it in. There's from the corner, and it won't go. 3-point attempt. That was number 5, Darren Hunter. Foul on number 9, Josh Hoyt. He will shoot 3 here. So, Steve, this is the preseason predictions may have drawn up this where these two teams ended up.
Yep.
But no one would have seen this game here halfway through the first quarter with a 13-point lead, and Harry Ainlay still looking for a point. How does this happen, Steve?
This is a bit of a surprise. I mean, you can see, though, with JP that they clearly wanted to come right out of the gate and say, hey, we're going to put them on their heels. We're going to run. We're going to push. We're going to be aggressive at the rim. So I think for Ainlay, they got to figure out, all right, well, what's our way of attack? Is it getting to the rim? I mean, they've gotten a few open looks, and now you got to start knocking them down. And these are the kind of things, they got to be ball tough.
Big steal by Rose, and the big jam for the Rebels, and the big dunk and the statement for JP, who couldn't have drawn it up any better in terms of a start. And the Titans now still looking for a point here. Big block by Crickey down low. Great defense by number 14 of the Rebels. Here's Rose now. He'll try the left-hander, and it'll go. And the Rebels now up by 19 with 4.5 to go in the first quarter. And the Titans have yet to score a point. They're going to try here and do. Number 5, Mac Natar. Boy, you can see the Harry Ainlay bench, a big sigh of relief, as now the Titans can maybe settle in a bit. But down 16 here in a shocker of a first quarter.
It's got to start with the D for Ainlay. They got to get one possession stops now, and they got to make sure that, hey, when we get back on D, we're going to really dig in.
Pottinger and a big block. Number 9, Daniel McLaren and Crickey combined. The foul looks like it's going to be on McLaren. And number 2, Owen Weaver, will shoot 2. And Owen Weaver, Steve, is going to be a big part of the Titans if they're going to, for them to get back into this game and reset and settle back in. Owen Weaver's got to be a big part of that.
Yeah, this is I've known Owen since he was a little kid, and this is a great growth moment for Owen. He's got to be assertive, he's got to be aggressive, and he's got to be a big part of Ainlay getting back in this game. I'm excited to see him take this challenge on tonight, because in order for Ainlay to have any sort of success tonight, Owen has to be a big part of it. So they need to look to him for his ability and a little bit of leadership too.
Here's Pottinger now. Tries to get a good steal by Legale, and there the Titans will run. Weaver can't convert. Here's Legale, number 10. Over to number 15. Ephraim Humild won't go. Rebels will maintain possession. Foul called on Humild, number 15, the grade 10 guard. There's a good look at head coach George Hoyt, who's probably just as surprised as we are right now. Here are the Rebels.
Well, if you know George, he's a cynical soul, so I'm sure he knew that there was going to be it was going to be a battle tonight. But the great thing about George is he's a fantastic coach, and his guys are going to fight.
Great
His guys are going to fight.
Great putback by Emmanuel Legale, the grade 12 guard, cleaning up the offensive rebound. And there's Ben Crickey with the nice cut, nice lay-in, Steve.
These are those things we talked about in the first game. Ben's very good at moving off the ball. He cuts to score. And those are hard guys to guard. When they really get their shoulder down and their feet moving, they're cutting to get the ball and put it in the basket.
Three-point attempt didn't go. Rebound. There's McLaren with the three-point attempt. Weaver with the big rebound. And the possession for the Titans. We're down by 16 in a very surprising first quarter so far. Legale drives the lane and draws the foul on number 6, Justin Rose. Oh, check that, number 3 on Malik Pottinger. So Legale will shoot 2.
This is where Ainlay can fight to get back in the game. They got to make JP pay a little bit in transition, and then they got to make plays at the rim or get to the free throw line and knock these sorts of shots down.
Draw some fouls, make your free throws.
Absolutely. There has to be a lot of aggression to the rim if you're Ainlay, because of the length of JP. Makes it a little bit tougher for some standstill shots, and you got to fight like crazy to keep Ben away from the bucket.
And the foul called. Speaking of drawing the foul, Ben Crickey draws the push there. We'll check that out. And that's on Legale. That's on number 10, Emmanuel Legale. His second of the night.
Looked like one of those lions jumped up and tripped Ben on that one.
It can happen.
It can. Those blue lines get jumpy every now and then.
So glad you're along with us, Kevin Donnan, for ICU Video, along with Steve Sir. The men's title game here, the Metro Edmonton High School Athletic Association Championships, Men's Division 1. We're so glad you're along with us, no matter where you're joining us from. If out there in cyberspace, we're just so glad to have you along with us as we bring you the best in high school basketball in Edmonton, and the near steal by Malik Pottinger. And Malik Pottinger has had an outstanding first quarter.
Yeah, he's played well. I mean, he's been.
Daniel McLaren with the big defense. Here's Rose going to run on the fast break, and it won't go. Big rebound by Ainlay. Farid Chitou, the grade 12 forward. There's a nice lay-in by the Titans, and you can see the Titans are starting to awaken a little bit.
He's a guy that you're going to forget about because he's a quiet kid, but Ephraim is a provincial team player.
Nice
he's
a finger roll by McLaren.
Another guy, both provincial team players, both guys that are easy to potentially forget about because of their quiet demeanors, but they can play. So keep your eye on these guys. Ephraim's really worked hard on his shot, and yeah, keep your eye on those guys, Dan McLaren and Ephraim.
Here's Pottinger now for the Rebels. Had trouble handling. Far side now, McLaren, nice ball fake. Will drive, and the nice lay-in by McLaren, who's had a couple of great plays for the Rebels, who enjoy a 17-point lead here in the final minute of the first quarter.
Well, Dan McLaren, he's a post-secondary player. Like, he's a guy that's going to play collegiately, and he's going to be a good collegiate player. So, I mean, Ben Crickey is the guy that deservedly gets a ton of attention for JP, but guys like McLaren who play supporting roles are also very, very good in their own right.
And you can see when they give Crickey time, when they give him a rest, McLaren,
he steps up.
He steps up and is the guy. So there's the shot that won't go, and number 8, Faricia will inbound for the Titans, and Justin Rose will check out of the game for the Rebels. Number 1, Mohammed Mahmoud, the grade 12 guard, number 1, will check in. Oh, nice work. Nice ball movement by the Titans. Faricia cleans things up with the nice assist by Natar. So, as we mentioned, a team with as much talent as Harry Ainlay is. Oh, and what a steal! Here's the steal by number 5, Natar, and great play by the Titans. And
Mac, I've worked out with Mac a few times, and he has got quick hands.
Another big steal by Harry Ainlay in the lay-in. That's Tyler Burbeck, and now these Titans have made a statement, and they're saying, hold on a minute, we'll give you the first quarter, but we got 3 quarters left to go. And the score after the first quarter, the Jasper Place Rebels 26, the Harry Ainlay Titans 15. It's been an entertaining quarter, but really the story of that quarter was a dominant JP run early on and cold shooting. Cold shooting by the Titans. Steve.
Well, similar to what we saw with JP and St. Albert, they were starting to force. They got down a little bit and they started looking for those mythical 6-7 point shots. So it's the way we said that for them to get back into the game was exactly the way that they ended. They got to start with their D. They got to get active with their hands. They got to get after with their feet. You can see right here on the replays where they struggled was when JP really started to put the ball on the deck and attack the rim a little bit more on their heels. The last 2 possessions with the Titans, you saw them attacking the ball, putting the pressure on JP to have to handle it in the open court. Really impressive start by JP. Ainlay is too well coached and has too good of players to have it be something where this turns into a rout and the rest of the game they're just cruising. So I think it's an exciting ending of the first quarter that gives us a lot of optimism for a fun game.
26-15, Jasper Place up on Harry Ainlay as we start this second quarter. Kevin Donnan along with Steve Sir, ICU Videos coverage. Championship Saturday night here from the Ross Shepp Gymnasium. ICU Video proud to bring you the Women's Division I title game, which was won. Congratulations to John Diedrich and the St. Albert Skyhawks for their big victory in the Women's Division I title game. And we're about to begin the second quarter of the Men's Metro Edmonton High School Athletic Association Division I Basketball Championship. And there's Crickey. Ooh. Could not get that 3-point to fall. And the foul called. Mohammed Mahmoud a little aggressive on the rebound, but Crickey nearly converted from beyond the arc. Opening second quarter. Glad you're along with us and joining us as we bring you the best that Edmonton basketball has to offer in the 2018-19 season. And right now it's Natar of the Titans, the grade 12, the senior guard. And right now, the Titans have seized the momentum. Steve?
Yeah, you're starting to see Ainlay feel a little more comfortable here now. And JP's starting to get a little more of the looking back at the bench and a little couple careless mistakes here. So, but it sets a tone for a good game, though. I mean, geez, like, it's great to see Ainlay climb up into guys, and it's great to see how this will be a good challenge for JP on how they respond. You know, I mean, great starts, but, you know, you have to find a way to bounce back from a little adversity here.
Non-shooting foul called on number 4, Josh Rose of the JP Rebels, his first. Inbound now, Shatu of Harry Ainlay, number 8. That's Weaver. He'll dish, come over to Burback here down the baseline. He'll try and squeeze it in traffic, won't go. Crickey with the steal, and the Rebels will run. There's a kick back out, dangerous pass. And the Rebels recover that one, 12 on the shot clock. And a big block. That's number 8. Chateau with the block of Crickey back at the other end, and the foul called on McLaren. So got to take a look at the replay on that one, and a great sequence here at both ends of the floor, Steve.
But don't you
take
love,
us through it.
Great D, times it well, and then watch the run. He sprints all the way down as the first guy there after making a play on the ball, and then gets to the free throw line. Like, you want to talk about putting both sides of it together. Like, what a great play. He ran his butt off to get right where he's at now to get to the free throw line, make a play for his team.
Titans, who were down big early in this first quarter, that shot won't go. Down only by 9 now. They were down as much as 16 as they struggled to get any points, and now it's JP that's gotten a little cold as Crickey has missed on his last 2 shots. Burback dishes over far side. That's Hoyt. Now the drive, and the lay-in won't go for Natar. Burback now. And a non-shooting foul called against the Rebels.
Boys, Natar, Mac's done a great job of getting to the rim for Ainlay. He's mixed it up on D, and he's put a lot of pressure on the JP guards to have to stay in front of him. You see with Ben on the other end for JP, starting to press a little bit to try and get going again, which is normal. I mean, he's their best player. They're going to look to him to get things done. So, I mean, fun. This is awesome. This is awesome.
And you know what, Natar in the last 2 minutes of the first quarter and early in the second, and there's a nice, beautiful little run by the Rebels and the conversion by McLaren. So JP answers back, and that's the kind of thing they needed to settle down a little bit.
Absolutely, and I mean, that's what Danny does so well. He's just a utility guy. He's in and around. He's making plays. He's in the right spots. That's why he's so valuable for the JP
Weaver
team.
Baseline kicks it out. Three-point attempt won't go. Good solid rebound by Pottinger, who will run. And the nice move. There's the three-point attempt for the Rebs. Won't go. That's number 5, Darren Hunter. Here's Pottinger for 3, and rebounded by Chateau as that tray won't go. Here's Burback now going to try and drive the lane. And a heads-up play. Great play by Tyler Burback right there. Knew he didn't have a chance.
Yeah, this crafty play.
Smart heads-up basketball play there. Burback knows it too. He's having a little bit of laugh about that one. And there's Chateau driving the baseline. Big rejection by Crickey and McLaren, who combine. There's a nice
pass.
Beautiful pass by Crickey, as we talked about. Nice soft hands, and number 5, Darren Hunter, converts. There's Burback from the corner.
Those are the ones Ainlay has to have. I mean, he's a fantastic shooter.
Open look, too.
Yeah, those are the ones that everything was right.
There's Ben Crickey, and if you give him an opening, the southpaw for 3. 33-17 now. Rebels up by 16. Big another near steal by Rose, who had a big dunk, and great defense by the Rebels. Here's Pottinger now driving, and the lay-in will go. Jasper Place now up by 18.
They're sitting on that top of that zone, hoping for those passes. If you're Ainlay, you got to get that stuff in the gap. That's
and another steal. Another great play, and it's showtime for the lay-in. I thought we were going to have a dunk there.
I think he thought he was too.
Lost the handle on that one. I was ready.
Yep.
Here we go now. Natar into the corner for number 2. Owen Weaver back out here. Three-point attempt won't go. There's Weaver now. Nice little touch off the glass for Owen Weaver, who needs to get started for the Titans.
Yep.
Here's Pottinger now. Boy, has he had the hot hand, but it won't go. Weaver with the rebound. Titans down by 18. 5:40 to go here in this second quarter. Rebels started out hot, as you can imagine. up by 16. Titans waited 4 minutes before they scored a point. Second personal foul here on Darren Hunter. And Emmanuel Legali, who's has some brothers that have made their mark on athletics in Edmonton, of course. I know a couple of them have played for the Edmonton Chargers in football, and a great sporting family here in Edmonton, the Legali family. And here we are. Timeout called by JP. They're up by 18. And take us through what both coaches are. We'll take a look at some of the replays here, Steve. And right now, Pottinger is really controlling the floor in terms of running the floor, and the Titans have to be concerned about Ben Crickey getting hot again.
I think so, because Ben, he's able to get that three. I mean, you see right here, he's just stepping right into it. If you're Ainlay, it all becomes about your defense again. You have to make sure that you get back, you tag guys, and you say, hey, we're back, we're matched up, we're protecting the bucket, we're not letting them get out early, we're not letting them get out aggressive. If you're JP, you're a lot of the same stuff. I mean, you're having a lot of success at the top of that zone of really pushing Ainlay out probably farther than they want to be. They're a little bit away from the basket, so their shooters can't quite get into a rhythm. So if I'm JP, I'm saying, hey guys, a lot more of the same. Get the ball, get it out and run, and then we got to take care of our glass so that Ainlay isn't getting second shots.
Number 8, Fareed Chatou will shoot 2, misses his first. Titans down by 18, but don't let the score fool you. These are the 2 best teams in Edmonton basketball for 2018-19, and the Titans, not a lot of luck in terms of, they need to get hot in terms of shooting. They had really struggled in the first half of that first quarter. But right now the Rebels have been very steady. Here are the Titans with a little bit of press. Ooh, that was as close as you can get. Pottinger, there's a nice cut by Rose. Number 6, Justin Rose, he and Pottinger have really been a force in terms of running the floor. Kick out now, here's Burbeck into the corner. This is number 9, Josh Hoyt. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Here's Hoyt down the baseline, little 10, 11 footer won't go. Pottinger gets the rebound and the change of possession, so bit of a waste of possession there for the Titans. And Crickey content to play half-court basketball with a big lead here. 20-point lead for the Rebels and a good rebound for the Titans. Hunter now watching Humild really closely. Humild will drive, try the left footer, won't go. Rebound by the Rebels. And there's Rose down the wing with the near finger roll, and there's Ben Crickey. Great follow-up by the big fella.
Yep, that's what Ben does. One of the things Ben does well is he has a nose for the ball. He really knows how to get after it.
Burbeck trying to fit the ball into tight space, won't go. Rebels now on a real run here, up by 22, and the foul called on Emmanuel Legali. The hold, non-shooting foul. So George Hoyt makes big changes here, and you have to think he needs to do something to get the momentum back towards the Titans.
Yeah, he's got to shake it up a little bit. I mean, I think one of the ways that Ainlay can be effective is maybe they try and attack from a quick perspective for their own right. You see JP pushing the tempo, getting to the rim. In order for Ainlay, I think, to get back into the game, where they saw some success was when they were pressuring up and starting to speed it up themselves. For JP, again, if you're Coach Burrows, you're asking for a lot of the same stuff.
Is it a case, Steve, where right now the Rebels defensively right now are really setting the tone? Or is it the Rebel defense that's really making the difference?
Well, you can see how far JP is pushing Ainlay away from the basket. Ainlay, excuse me. Ainlay has some guys that can really shoot it, but when you're getting pushed closer and closer to the T-Bird at the middle, it's hard to catch the ball and actually face the rim saying I'm a threat to do something. So you got to credit JP with really extending that zone and making that initial pass difficult, because they've picked it off a few times and gotten easy baskets in transition. I think if you're Ainlay, you got to be aggressive in finding those sweet spots in the zone. And if you're JP, you're probably saying, hey, we still have to maintain pressure.
Pottinger can't get the easy lay-in. Basket won't count, foul. And the bit of a tough foul on Ben Crickey, bit of a cheap foul behind the play.
I didn't mean for the mic to pick up that sheesh.
Well, you know.
Well, yeah, should have turned away.
That's right. Hey.
Yep.
Here's Owen Weaver. He'll shoot 2 as the Titans are in the bonus here with 3:56 to go. Kevin Donnan for ICU Video along with Steve Sir here at the Palatial T-Bird Gym at Rochep High School. The Division I Metro Edmonton High School Athletic Association Men's Basketball Championship. Here's Pottinger on a great run, great feed, great dish, and a great finish by Daniel McLaren. So these Rebels have really made a statement here in this first half.
Playing fast and playing aggressive. A lot of their stuff has been high percentage shots. And they made it really hard for Ainlay to get it into that sweet spot against
Weaver
the zone.
now won't go. Crickey with the big defensive rebound, and he's content to hand it off to Malik Pottinger, who tried the run. Won't go, dishes it to McLaren. There's Rose with a beautiful lay-in. And right now the Rebels, the ball movement of the Rebels, the Titans have no answer for.
It's hard. They're having a really hard time keeping guys in front of them, especially on all that off-ball movement of cutting.
Oh, a beautiful little finger roll by number 5, Mac Natar. But Mac Natar has put the Titans on his shoulders, but he's not getting a lot of help.
No, he's done a great job. Very nice.
Oh, and there's a nice play without the ball by Crickey as he gets away from Zachary Freeze, big number 13, who he's giving up about 4 inches in height and about 40 pounds to Crickey. And the Rebels will run, and once again, Justin Rose. And right now, Jasper Place. I'm going to talk about the Rebels, or the running Rebels. They're kind of running away with it right now.
Yep. In
a bit of a shocker here. Big rebound by Pottinger nearly. And the possession will stay with Jasper Place. And if you're a fan of the Titans, Steve, you're literally dumbfounded at what's happening here at the T-Bird Gym.
I think you knew coming in that, JP is awfully good, and they have very good individual players. They play well collectively. So you're going to expect this to be tough. I don't think you were expecting it to be
3-point by Darren Hunter.
I don't think you were expecting it to be 30 points in the first half tough.
No.
But, you knew this was going to be a tough game. But we got a little bit of time left.
A lot of time left. Maybe not in this half, but we have a second half. Anything can happen. These two teams, let's face it, hey, not only just a couple of weeks ago, the Rebels defeated Harry Ainlay 90-86 in terms of their path to this title game. The Rebels crushed St. Peter the Apostle 109-80. They took down St. FX 91-84. The Titans took down Edmonton Christian. We saw Edmonton Christian win the Totem Hoop Classic. They were defeated 118-53 in the quarterfinal. And then, of course, they beat Skona handily in the semifinal. Of course, Skona pulled off a major upset in the quarterfinal, 79-72 over Shep. But, the Titans' only loss was to JP, but this JP team has looked the more, I guess you could say they've looked loose. They've looked ready for this game in terms of being relaxed and just settling in, playing their game and dictating the flow.
Absolutely. I think if you're JP, or if you're a supporter or fan of JP, then you're watching this game and saying, like, they're playing the exact way they want to play. So they're getting out in transition. Crickey's getting stuff around the rim, walking into some transition threes. And then they're pushing the tempo, putting the pressure on the Ainlay guards to have to get back in defense. So if you're JP, you're thinking probably, like, this is the style and the pace we want to play.
And the three won't go, but a big rebound for the Titans. What can the Titans do in this last minute 40 of the half. What can they do to try and get some momentum as we get set? And there's a big collision. Pottinger driving the lane. He collides with number 13, Zachary Freeze. But if you're Harry Ainlay, you want to get something going in this last minute and a half.
You got to dig in. You try and have some sort of challenge where they don't score after that basket for the rest of the half. And then you got to hit some shots. I mean, they've had some looks, they just haven't converted. So you got to figure out some sort of way to take momentum into the locker room the way that they finished the first quarter, where they got a couple steals and buckets and had some excitement going for them.
Great pass by Pottinger, great finish by Crickey, nice soft hands by number 14. And the Rebels up by 22, and you know what? Mac Natar has been the player of the game for the Titans. He's been their MVP. He's really been driving the offense and has been their only spark. Here's Crickey, wide open for three, and it won't go. And the ball off Pottinger, wise play by Owen Weaver of the Titans. And Harry Ainlay will have possession here. 21 seconds on the shot clock, 45 on the game clock. Here's Burbick now. Titans need to close out this half with something positive. Want to make a game of it, down by 30. No one would have guessed that this championship game would be down by 30. Big block by number 2, Owen Weaver, but the foul is called as Justin Rose draws the foul.
Yeah, that's a
his
heck of a
second
play.
Personal. And Rose will shoot 2 with 25 seconds to go. But down 30, no one would have guessed this, Steve.
No. This is surprising that I think Ainlay could potentially go into the locker room with only 24 points on the board after a half a ball. But again,
if you're George Hoyt, what do you just tell the team, look, we have to forget that, we have to win this obviously win the second half, but we have to block that first half out of your mind and settle down and get back.
Yeah, I think you go into the halftime and say, guys, we're going to win the next 5 minutes. We're going to play 4 or 5 minute quarters where we win every quarter, and we're going to see that where it leads us. If we go in and we say, guys, we got to try and chip away at 30, that's pretty daunting. Let's come back out of halftime and say, let's win the first 5 minutes.
Number 9, Daniel McLaren, the good box out, lets the ball go. 8 seconds to go. Here's McLaren for 3 from the corner, won't go. The putback does. Number 15, Lucas Robertson, the big fella, the grade 12 forward, and the score at the half. The JP Rebels 58, the Harry Ainlay Titans 24. It's a shocker here at the T-Bird Gym. Rebels up by 34, and Steve, you know what? Take us through this first half in what must be one of the biggest surprises of the basketball season.
Well, I'd say that out with a plan of how they wanted to play and what they were going to do to get it done, and that's been on display for the majority of the first half. They're playing their style and they're doing their thing.
Well, and we will have second half action for you in just 9 minutes' time here from the palatial Ross Sheppard Gym. Kevin Donnan for ICU Video along with Steve Sir. The score at the half here in the Metro Edmonton High School Athletic Association Division I Men's Basketball Championship game. The score at the half, the Jasper Place Rebels 58, the Harry Ainlay Titans 24. When we return, second half action, and the championship will be decided. Stay with us right here on ICU Video from the Ross Sheppard Gymnasium. To ICU Video's ProCast coverage of the 2019 Metro Edmonton High School Athletic Association Division I Men's Basketball Championship game here at the palatial T-Bird Gym on the campus of Sheppard High School. Kevin Donnan along with Steve Surf for ICU Video, and the Jasper Place Rebels up by 34. Yes, 34. That's not a misprint. That's not a mistake by us. The score is 58-24 for the JP Rebels over Harry Ainlay, and it's a shock. It's a total surprise, Steve. But how has Jasper Place done it? How have they pulled off what has been really a perfect first half?
I would say a lot of it has to do with just dictating pace and tempo. They've been able to establish how they want to play right from the jump with a 17-0 start. As you can see in the clips, they're getting ahead of steam and going downhill on the Ainlay guards, pushing that ball right into the middle of the paint, and then they're getting shots right at the rim. So I mean, for a lot of guys, these are the looks that are high percentage, and JP's cashing in on it. Defensively, they're making it really hard for Ainlay. They're pushing them far away from the basket. They're making catches at the high post, at the free throw line really difficult. So you've seen JP do a really good job of taking Ainlay out of just about everything that they wanted to do today.
Now, I guess the question is, anything can happen in the sport of basketball. But for George Hoyt and his team, the head coach of the Titans, you're down 34. Can they do it?
You know what?
Anything's possible.
Anything's
right?
possible.
You've seen enough basketball to know that anything is possible. But
you can, somebody can get a little bit of a run of some foul trouble. Ainlay can start hitting some of the shots that they missed. George Hoyt is an outstanding coach, and he'll have something. We'll see, though. I mean, JP's really well coached, too, by Matt Burrows, and they have some great players. So, I mean, if they're able to just maintain, then we're talking about a blowout.
Jasper Place, of course, got outstanding performances, really. I mean, throughout the lineup, Crickey was huge. Daniel McLaren, number 9, had some quality minutes. Malik Pottinger and Justin Rose really drove the floor in terms of pace and tempo.
Yep.
But what do the Titans have to do?
One, they got to hit some shots.
They need to get some threes.
Yeah, 2, they got to get back on D. I mean, JP is just pushing that ball right up at them. And the Ainlay guards, if they're not going to go for an offensive rebound, then they got to get back. I mean, if it's not 5 guys to the glass, then it's got to be 2 or 3 guys back to the paint and then fanning out to protect the hoop and get to people. JP otherwise is going to keep doing what they're doing. They're going to push the ball. They're going to get right to the rim, and they're going to finish.
Titans maintain possession, 9 on the clock here. Natar now with the nice finger roll that won't go. There's Crickey with the defensive rebound, and the Rebels will go, and Hunter can't convert, so still looking for our opening bucket of the second half. Here's Owen Weaver here on the near side. Titans in their familiar all blue. Rebels in the all white uniforms. Rebels looking to complete the perfect season. They went 11-0 in the regular season. Now looking to complete the perfect postseason as well. There's Crickey with the beautiful lay-in and the nice touch. The big southpaw's got soft hands.
Soft hands, good feet, and he's hard to keep away from the rim. Really hard to keep away from the rim.
Far corner here, Titans now. Here's Burbick. Back out to Weaver, top of the key. Burbick now. Natar. Titans with that veteran lineup now. And Pottinger. Ball goes off his leg, and the Titans will maintain possession. Shatu will inbound for Harry Ainlay. Here's Natar, the offensive force really for the Titans. Their only spark in the first half. And that 3 won't go. That's Josh Hoyt from the corner. There's Crickey now. Out to McLaren. There's Rose for 3, and it won't go. Good rebound by Shatu and the Titans. Down by 36 now, and oh goodness, that's when you're number 3, when you're Tyler Burbick and you're going down into the paint like that against Crickey,
yeah,
all of a sudden the lights go out in the gym.
Yeah, not a lot of wiggle room on that one.
That's for sure. Natar with the nice drive, and he will shoot 2. So Natar doing a good job of drawing the foul, and he'll shoot 2. Titans down 36 here. Opening minute 48 here in this second half. Of course, earlier this evening, we had the St. Albert Skyhawks capturing the Women's Division I title over JP, 69-49. The Skyhawks complete a perfect season. They go undefeated. And there's a nice drive by Rose that won't go. The follow-up and the putback. But it's McLaren drawing the foul, and he'll shoot 2.
It's a bigger matchup. I mean, you look at Ainlay and the JP front
they've
line.
They've got their small team in. The Titans
right.
have their small unit in for sure.
That's right. And you look at JP with Crickey and McLaren. That's a tall order for the Ainlay guys.
McLaren now will take care of business with his second, and Rebels have been good from the foul line tonight as well. And the Rebels you couldn't have drawn it up any better for head coach Matt Burrows. And there's the 3 from the corner that won't go, and Titans have not had a lot of luck from beyond the arc. Have not had a lot of luck from beyond the arc. Here's Crickey now with the nice drive and the foul called on Josh Hoyt, his second. Non-shooting foul. Pottinger will inbound for the Rebs, and nearly off the glass. Nice rebound by Weaver for the Titans. He'll drive the lane. Won't go. Gets his own rebound. Battle under the glass for Crickey. Long outlet. Beautiful conversion on the fast break. That's Darren Hunter, the grade 12 guard for the Rebs. And you're seeing a veteran lineup here for Jasper Place really start to take over.
Absolutely. You're seeing them just continue to play at their pace, their tempo, and get really everything that they want. There hasn't been a possession for Ainlay where you can feel like they've really made things uncomfortable for JP so far in the second half.
39-point lead for JP, 64-25, and the Rebs will bring it up the floor with Malik Pottinger, who has, really set the tempo for the Rebels. I think early on, Pottinger in that first quarter really gave his team a lift.
Absolutely. The way he's been able to push the ball, and he's big physical guard, difficult for the Ainlay guys to keep in front. So, yeah, he's really set he's been the guy that's really set the tempo.
And there's a three-pointer for Josh Hoyt. He hits from downtown. Bit of a lift for these Titans.
Yeah, they need every single one of those.
And there's Pottinger for 3, won't go.
And if you're Ainlay, those are the shots that you want JP to take, or quick ones that are contested and then be able to push the ball back up.
Titans on the fast break. Legale converts on the nice bounce pass into the paint. Here's Rose now. He'll take a look, kick it back out to Pottinger. Pottinger will stop. Here's Hunter. Good ball movement by the Rebs. Down low to Crickey, and nice work by number 14. And there's that mismatch you talked about down low.
It's hard for the Ainlay guys. You can fight Ben initially, but he does a really good job of, if he doesn't get his position right away, he keeps trying to find ways to get it on you. So you're really in for a battle down there with him. And if you win the first 2 or 3 seconds, he's still going to come at you.
And he's so versatile. His ability to shoot, and then he can, when he wants to post up with his back to the, basket, I mean, he can create a lot of room and get that. He's got a great first step.
Yeah, and Ben's not your prototypical, player with size. Like he's a guy that can step away from the basket, and he has a good step on you. He can put you on your heels with a dribble or two, and he shoots it well enough now that he can be a guy that you're worried about raising up and hitting one if you're not putting the right amount of ball pressure. So Ben's development through the provincial team program and the Jasper Place Rebels program and the Canadian basketball program too, as well as his time with the national team, you can see has made him a really, really tough guard.
We'll see where he commits or where he'll be playing next year. But I know on the other side of the river, there's, the Golden Bears would love to see him. There's a big steal, and the only play that Josh Hoyt could make was that foul on Pottinger. But Ben Crickey, really in terms of his, like you say, his versatility, and basketball's changing. It's not gone are the days where you take the big 6'7", 6'8" kid and put him, you put him at the 5 and leave him there.
Stick him on the block.
Now these athletes are bigger, stronger, faster. They can run the floor and shoot, and Ben Crickey's part of that new wave of the four, in terms of all tools in the toolbox.
Very much so. I think Ben's a great example of how basketball has modernized into we don't just stick big guys under the basket anymore. You have an idea of making sure that basketball players are just that. They can be versatile and they can play the game as opposed to be one-dimensional. They try and have it be something where he can be a guy that steps away, and then when opportunity arises, he can get closer to the basket and be really effective just like that.
And guys like Kevin Durant and Luka Doncic don't hurt either.
No, they're all right.
Those guys.
Pretty good.
Those guys are you're talking 6'8", 6'9", and could do everything. And here's a kid, number 14 for the Rebels, who is doing everything tonight. 38-point lead. And try and make it. He'll make it 39 there and try and take care of business with his 2 shots. Ben Crickey, number 14 for the Rebels, looking to try and complete a perfect season. They could go a perfect 14-0 with a victory here tonight, and they're well on their way, leading by 40 halfway through, a little more than halfway through this third quarter. And a shocker at the T-Bird Gym so far, but it's number 4 of the Titans, Eric Gaylord, the grade 11 guard. He draws the foul, non-shooting foul. Darren Hunter, the foul for Jasper Place. Titans now looking for any kind of spark. Legale kicks it out. Top of the key now to Natar. Natar's been Harry Ainley's best player far and away. Legale with the turnaround jumper that wasn't going to make it. There's Crickey now to Pottinger. Pottinger loses the handle. Great pass. Look at the ball movement by the Rebels, and the near 3 by Mahmoud that didn't go. Titans now will run. There's the 3-point attempt by Harry Ainlay. Won't go. Mid-air collision with Pottinger and Natar, and the foul called on Pottinger. And
subbing in for the Rebels, number 6, Justin Rose.
it's number 6, Justin Rose, checking in. Number 5, Darren Hunter, will check out for the Rebels, and Darren Hunter's has had a very good game.
Absolutely, he's played well too. JP has not been a one-man show. They've had a lot of contributions from multiple positions and multiple people, and that's why they're as good as they are. You're not up 40 when you just have one good player or 2 good players. They've really had a lot of good stuff from all 5 spots.
Nice move by Pottinger there. There's Crickey from the corner, and the big southpaw with the corner 3. And the Titans try to answer back. Oh, nice rebound. Nice box out by Daniel McLaren there on the rebound, using the body position and hauling that rebound. There's Pottinger now. He tries to get in on the act. Here are the Titans now, running the floor. Little runner, won't go, and the foul called on Mahmoud. As number 15, Ephraim Humild, will shoot 2. Crickey will check out for the Rebels. 3:16 to go here in the third quarter. ICU video. Pleased, proud, and privileged to bring you the City Championships. Championship Saturday night here from the Ross Shepp Gym. We want to thank the staff and students from Shepp for putting on such a great show here on this City Championship weekend. here in Edmonton, Edmonton's own version of March Madness. Now in the game for Jasper Place, number 13, Jake Delgerstote, the grade 12 power forward, number 13. 43-point lead now for the Rebels. Inside 3 minutes here of the third quarter. There's the three-point attempt that won't go. Legale with the nice rebound. Kicks it back out. Three won't go. Kicks it back out. Fresh clock. Humilde now will drive the lane and get the hoop and the harm, and he'll look to make it a three-point play.
It's a tough finish. Yeah, I mean, this is the area that Ainlay's really struggled to be effective tonight, because JP's done such a good job of collapsing and having guys feel like they don't have a lot of options once they get into the paint. That was a tough finish, but still JP defended it pretty well. They just got a little bit of a touch foul.
Pottinger can't convert. Now the Titans will steal and take possession here. Here's Legale from the arc. Won't go. Titans rebound and gather it up with a fresh clock. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Legale now. Kicks it back out. It's number 6, Logan Powell. Over to Humilde. He'll try from three and he'll hit. So Humilde, number 15, has made a bit of a statement here for the Titans.
Yeah, he's got to give them a little bit of a burst. And again, Ephraim is he's a good player. He's been on the provincial teams. He's played well in summer ball, and he's been one of those.
And the near reverse goes. Sorry about that, Steve.
No, that's okay.
Near reverse by Pottinger.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one.
That's number 13, Zachary Freeze, who's shaken up on that play. Like he has got an ankle stepped on, but I mean, you have to be impressed by the way JP has come out. You know, really in terms of, you know, they got off to the hot start. They took advantage, you know, timeliness in terms of timely defense in that first quarter, and they've really just hung on to the momentum the whole way.
Absolutely. I mean, you establish a 17-0 lead right out of the gate. That's an awfully big hill that you got to climb if you're Ainlay. And for JP, there hasn't been a whole lot of let up either. They started that way. There was a bit of an interesting end to the first quarter, but for the most part, they've controlled every bit of this game.
Josh Rose, number 4, checks in for the Rebels, and what coach wouldn't? You're not going to find too many basketball coaches who would turn down a 17-point lead in the first 4 minutes.
No, I think that's probably the dream.
Of the year, yeah.
That's the dream in the city finals. Is we'll give you a 17-point lead right out of the gate.
And not too many coaches will. A lot of coaches would love that, and it doesn't happen very often, but it can happen. Sometimes you get 2 heavyweights in the ring, and sometimes you'll get a knockout in the first, round or two. That's what you have here. Is you've got big block by Humilde, but you've got 2 heavyweights going at it, and sometimes in a heavyweight fight, one team will get knocked out early, and it can happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't diminish your season, but it's a tough way to go out if you're Harry Ainlay and your head coach, George Hoyt. Number 4, Josh Rose, will shoot 2 here with the Rebels up comfortably. 39 points. No one would have guessed this. 56 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Kevin Donnan, along with Steve Sir here at the T-Bird Gym. So glad to be along with you. ICU Video, proud of its relationship and association with the Metro Edmonton High School Athletic Association. Football, basketball, ICU Video covers it all. And we're very proud to be working with the Metro Edmonton High School Athletic Association, as we do all year, all 12 months of the year. 3-point attempt, and it won't go. Number 9, Daniel McLaren's had a tremendous game for the Rebels. And possession arrow will change. Daniel McLaren, of course, gets the minute when Ben Crickey, when he and Crickey are on the floor together, it's like, the Ralph Sampson, the old Twin Towers days, but in this case, McLaren's had a lot of strong minutes, and he too can shoot and work the 5 as well.
Absolutely. I think
big 3-pointer by number 6, Logan Powell.
That's the versatility of guys like Dan is he's able to maybe play second fiddle to whoa.
Oh boy, and then some nights, Steve, as you know, some nights they just fall. Some nights you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
End of the third quarter, Daniel McLaren puts a big statement there. At the end of 3 quarters, the Jasper Place Rebels lead by 38 points, 79-41. And I don't want to do the old basketball saying of, hey, start the bus. But boy, on a night like tonight, you might. Rivals, we got, there's still a buzz in the building. The rivalry's still alive and well here, and that just tells you what a thriving basketball community Edmonton has. And the rivalries are great, the action is great, and like I say, in spite of the fact that this game isn't as close as we could have dreamed up, it's still been an entertaining one. And I'll tell you, if you're a fan of the Rebels, boy, you've sat back tonight and watched on ICU video, and you've watched your team really, really put the finishing touches on a great season.
Yeah, if you're a JP fan, you're pleased. I'd say
very, very.
This has been what you probably in your best case scenario were hoping for. So it's but you're right. It's still been, in spite of the score, entertaining to see the level of
2 great teams going at it no matter what.
Yeah, and it's good to see, it's good to see a great team play very well, and it's good to see another great team have to face some adversity and see how they'll bounce back from that.
There's 16, Emmanuel Ohenabang checks in, so the Titans now, they can loosen up, they can play loose too. Number 7, Luke Gaylord and Mahmoud of the Rebels having a little bit of a chat. Don't tell those 2 guys that there's a big lead. There's a big gap between the 2 teams. They're out there battling the game within the game. Mahmoud now kicks it back out. Oh, and the nice lay-in that won't go. The putback. Big defense by the Titans. The big fella, number 16, Ohenabang. Big play by number 16, the grade 10 forward. He's got a lot of basketball ahead of him. If you're a grade 10 at Harry Ainlay, and the big fella with the nice touch from the outside nearly gets the 3 to go, and the Rebels will run. Collision at midcourt, and the Titans now. Number 6, Logan Powell, getting quality minutes. The grade 11 forward. And the foul called. 7, Luke Gellert with the offensive foul, so the possession arrow will change. 37-point lead here for the Jasper Place Rebels, trying to put the finishing touches on the perfect season here. Corner now, McLaren wide open, can't get it to go. He'll get fed down the baseline, can't get the little baseline lay-in to go, but a fresh clock for Jasper Place. Here's Rose, far side. Top of the key to McLaren. Fed down low to Rose. And the Rebels will maintain possession as it goes off the hands of number 14, Hugh Anderson, the grade 11 forward for Harry Ainlay. 8:02 to go, 37-point difference here in this Division I City Championship game. Never would have guessed it, but sometimes you have to throw out the math and the stats. In a championship game, it can happen, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Here we go now. We've had some great individual plays, though, on from both teams, and don't think Harry Ainlay's going anywhere when it comes to basketball in this town. So, You know what? They've had an outstanding season no matter the result. And both of these teams have been really the creme de la creme. This was predicted back in October, November when they were talking. There's the long-range three-pointer, but when the preseason, when the basketball community was getting together and talking about the upcoming 2018-2019, Division I season, these two teams were, the first two teams talked about, and if there was going, the championship game, it was the expectations were that these two teams were going to meet, and here they are, but couldn't have expected this result.
No. I think it's...
Oh, beautiful little runner by Josh Rose.
It's a good example of a team like JP that's got older players and they're experienced, and this is their time to do well. I know Ainlay's got some youth, and I'm sure with Coach Hoyt and the type of program that they have, this will wind up helping a lot of guys get better.
Beautiful corner three from Kwaj Yok, the grade 12 guard for Harry Ainlay. George Hoyt now letting giving his bench some minutes. There's the nice lay-in by Rose, but George Hoyt using his bench now, getting his younger players getting the feel of a championship game. Getting that experience. And
I think it's good for them to get some reps in a game like this and still make sure that they're playing with purpose and with
pride, for sure.
Absolutely. Even in spite of the score, you still got to go out there and do that. So it's good for these young guys to have this experience.
Well, and you know what? Because this Harry Ainlay team is so young, I mean, the one thing that you've got to remember is that you're going to live to fight another day. And there's some good defense. Oh, what a great play! Nice little touch by number 7, Gellert, and a great finish by Yok, number 11. So, you know what? A young team like this, you live to fight another day.
Yep.
And you know what? You don't dwell. You remember it. You don't dwell on it. But, you get ready for next year starting now.
I'm sure if there's any sort of complacency, this would always be a great one to bring back up.
Oh, yeah. Never. Yeah. You know what? It never hurts. So there's a rainbow three-pointer from Fahad Yusuf, the grade 11 forward who's getting some minutes. So both coaches now utilizing the bench and the steal by Rose. Foul called on number 13, Jake Delgerstote. But great to see both coaches, going to their benches and giving those younger players some minutes here. And like you say, that championship game experience, no matter what the result, getting into a game like this really matters to these kids.
Absolutely. This is one of those things where, as an entire team, it's great that you have a chance to play your whole roster in a game like this. I don't think that
doesn't happen a lot.
It doesn't happen a lot, but I don't think anyone on JP thought it would be this way.
No. No one on JP would have thought that this result would happen either.
Yeah, I'm going to get lots of minutes because we're up 40. So.
Yeah, I don't think there was ever a point where Matt Burrows thought, you know what, at some point I'm going to be up 40.
Yeah, guys, let's go win by 40
Let's
tonight.
go win by 40. Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly. But what a performance by these Rebels, and what a performance by Justin Rose. I mean, really, that's starting five. Crickey, Justin Rose, Pottinger, McLaren, Darren Hunter. Those five for the Rebels really carried this team. And you know what? Different opportunities for momentum. And you know what? When every player, there were no passengers tonight. When they needed a play, these guys were stepping up.
Absolutely.
Here's number 5, Darren Hunter. Back to Hunter now. What a play. Boy, I'll tell you, when things are going your way, they all go your way. And what a beautiful little reverse under the basket by Justin Rose. And that's I think that's the cherry on the sundae. And that's the cherry on the sundae. Big push there. And a big three by Justin Rose. So the Rebels have really opened things up, and number 6, Logan Powell, still battling for the Titans. He nearly converts on the lay-in. He'll shoot 2, but wow, the Rebels are putting on it's showtime here at the T-Bird Gym.
They're having a good day. Yeah, that's
yeah.
for sure.
When I'll tell you, like I say, sometimes they just fall for you.
Yeah, when you're throwing passes in the air, catching it, and then finishing on the other side of the basket, I'm sure on days like today, it's just like you drew it up.
Here we go now. Powell will shoot his second, 3:47 to go. 45-point lead for these Rebels, 95-50. Jasper Place on their way to a city championship. Of course, the Titans, the defending city champions.
Yep.
And they will lose. They will give up the title to the Rebels. And it's, we talked about it. Edmonton has got such a wonderful tradition, basketball tradition at all levels, that it's usually the T-Birds, the Rebels, and the Titans in the equation. And it's just another year of basketball in Edmonton, and it just keeps getting better and better. The sport is growing in this city, and it's this is a great showcase for it. This game right here is the Rebels. It's number 7, Thomas Watchman of JP. Even the JP fan section is letting Watchman know about that one. But you know what? You can have a little bit of fun when you're up 45. You can miss an open three-pointer.
Well, I think
you may hear about it for a couple of days, but
yeah, you might. You might hear about it a little bit.
But Rebels are going to hear a lot
more positives than anything else, I think, after tonight. Yeah, that's for sure.
You got a technical foul here called against the Rebels. As we said, you know what? Great atmosphere to start the game. It's a packed gym. This is exactly what we've wanted to see. And it's fantastic to have such a great response from the community, friends, family, all here, and the student groups getting together and really promoting basketball. So here we going to have a bit of a, referees are going to confer on the technical here. We're going to straighten a couple of things out. Well, the Titans will inbound. The one official was over at the scorer's table, and we're back to live action. ICU Video, the proud to bring you your ProCast coverage of the Division I men's basketball title game. So the open three won't go. Titans rebound, fresh clock, 2.5 minutes to go. Here in the title game, 2018-19 season coming to a close here at the T-Bird Gym. Good rebound by Mahmoud, and he'll bring it up the floor for the Rebels. 95-50, Jasper Place up on Harry Ainlay. Top two teams in the regular season. Oh, nice little bit of basketball there by Darren Hunter, but
I think what's important now as you finish the game, if you're JP, you want to try and still hey, let's finish the game proper.
No injuries,
yeah, let's make sure that we still keep our eyes on what's to come next. We are able to check this box. We're able to make sure that we accomplish this part of our season's goal.
This part of the goal, yeah.
Yeah, but we still have to finish the game. We still have to finish the game correctly, and we still got to remember that there's probably, I'd imagine, for all of them, Provincials is the big goal.
There's more basketball to be played, for sure.
Absolutely. So finishing the game the right way is important. And if you're Ainlay too, you want to try and make sure that this is not a game where everybody leaves completely
deflated this doesn't define
Absolutely.
you.
No.
And it doesn't define your season either.
It's not at all, I'm sure, what you came in tonight coming close to hoping for. But again, you guys they have more basketball to play.
Sure.
And for these young guys, this is a good way to make an impression on coaches of, hey, in spite of it being an insurmountable second half, I'm still hustling back on defense. I'm still making the right reads. I'm still trying to get my teammates involved. I'm still trying to play the game the right way, that what our program stands
Still
for.
trying to beat the man in front of me. Still trying to, still competing all the time.
Absolutely.
So both of these teams still have a lot of basketball in front of them. We want to certainly, these two teams have enjoyed fantastic seasons. It's going to be this provincial tournament. Now looking at it right now, how do you like these two teams? How do things look for these two teams in the provincials right now, Steve?
Well, I got to imagine if you're JP, you're going to go in as the #1 seed. They're the #1 ranked team in the province. They're clear-cut winner in the city championship. So I'd imagine they'll probably be the top seed. If you're Ainlay, I don't know exactly where you're going to fall. They've had a good year, and they've had a lot to feel positive about, but I'd imagine JP is going to go in as the heavy favorite.
Of course, JP will earn the crown here tonight. Just over a minute to go. And a big foul called near block there. Good drive by Gellert of the Titans, the grade 11 guard. Foul by number 13, Jake Delgerstote. Minute 09 to go here in the fourth and final quarter of a bit of certainly a surprise. I mean, we knew that both of these teams are capable of playing, in terms of fundamental basketball, in terms of scoring and defense. They're not the two best teams in the city for no reason.
No.
But JP really, just rode that hot start. Pottinger and Rose and Crickey, those three, the troika there, the big three, they really made a statement early in this game.
Yeah, they did. They came out clearly fired up, clearly ready to go, and then were able to go at Ainlay in a way that put them back on their heels for the whole game. But that's a credit to JP. They had their plan, and the players acted on it. They came out and made it happen.
Loose ball foul called against the Titans, number 11, Kwaj Yok, being in the bonus now. Delgerstote will shoot 2 with 41 seconds to go. And you know what? We want to thank our entire crew. Dave Foley, our cameraman and technical coordinator. Odell Nelson, the rookie, in the corner. Mark St. Arnaud doing great stuff in the other corner. Alex Testowich, our switcher, doing such a great job with our replays, and of course our executive producer Rob Zitla. So that is, the hardest working and best crew in cyberspace. ICU Video. Make sure you contact us. We will cover any sport, anytime. You name it, we've done it, and we'll do it great. ICU Video, proud to bring you tonight's game, and good work by number 16, Ohenbang. So final seconds here ticking down. Rebels now own the clock. 12 seconds to go here. Here we go with the Titans now going to get a possession, and it will be Rebel ball with 6 seconds to go. So it's been quite an evening. Earlier tonight, the St. Albert Skyhawks won the Women's Division I title, and tonight the Jasper Place Rebels have won the Metro Edmonton High School Athletic Association Division I Men's Basketball Championship. Congratulations to the Jasper Place Rebels. Steve, what a performance tonight here at the T-Bird Gym.
It was JP from start to finish.
They really just came out and just took, really right off the start.
Yeah, there was no question pretty much right from the jump on who was going to be the aggressor tonight. Ainlay had their little bursts at the end of the first quarter, but outside of that, this was all JP. This was, starting to end, this was all JP.
Well, and I think, the Crickey got going early. Crickey really opened things up. And I think at the same time, they were able, Pottinger and Rose, I think, those two players, number 3 and number 6, for the Rebels, really set the tempo early in terms of driving the floor, driving the lane, and really in terms of, using the speed. That was the big determining factor here. So we're going to do some trophy presentations here, and we're also going to get an interview with the victorious coach. We'll also have the player of the game. We will be having a chat with Matt Burrows, talk about, Steve will have a chance to interview him, get some questions in, and we'll in just a few moments time we'll get the silver medal presentation.
Before we begin with our presentation, I just want to recognize these guys. Guys, stand up here for a minute. Stand up. Hey, buddy, stand up, stand up. These guys have been working all day yesterday.
Here we go. Yes, what a great weekend. Great Friday and Saturday. Once again, you know, Ross Shepp, we get a chance to spend time with the staff and students here at the Totem Hoop Classic, the season opening tournament. And, you know, the T-Birds do such a great job here in terms of organizing tournaments and bringing basketball to the city. And they've got a great facility and a great crew here.
Yeah, they really do. And this is what this gym was built for. And this is why the rentals were done. Well, one of the main reasons is now you can host events like this. And it can be in as good an atmosphere as you'll find. I mean, this is as nice a gym as I think you'd find anywhere at the high school level. So, yeah, it's great to see this here, and they do a fantastic job as a school and a staff to put on such a good show.
Emmanuel Lagali had some quality minutes for the Titans. But what a performance here by the Jasper Place Rebels. Here at the T-Bird Gym, and what a, just Matt Burrows and his entire staff, you know, just really got off to such a great start. You know, the first 4 minutes, they were perfect. They didn't give up a point in the first 4 minutes, and really that really took kind of the wind out of the sails of the Titans.
It really did, and I think for any team that's dealt with having to spend your whole game fighting back, and have a team that's not just going to build an early lead and then ride it, like build an early lead and continue to build and continue to push and continue to press. That's hard. It's really tough, especially for a young team that probably hasn't had a lot of experiences like that. So for JP, you got to say that was an impressive showing. For Ainlay, you got to hope that, and if this will be the case with as well coached as they are and the program that they have, is that they're going to find a way to build on this and have the players improve as a result of it.
Here we go with the gold medals being handed out. Darren Hunter getting his gold medal, and great demonstration of sportsmanship here by the Rebels. As we get the scoring and get some details for you. (101-53) the final score here in this title game. The Rebels winning. And what a great season for Jasper Place. And can't wait to talk with, I mean, really, Steve, who do you pick from the Rebels to talk to us if you're with the player of the game?
Well, I think you could make an argument for a few guys. I think you definitely say Ben Crickey. You can definitely say Justin Rose. You could say Malik Pottinger. You could say Daniel McLaren. You could pick a few guys. So
absolutely.
I think
and no one could argue with you.
No. I think you have a few people that stepped up big for Jasper Place, and that's again why they're in the position that they are. They have guys that are aggressive and producing from all spots on the floor.
And we want to tell our viewers, pay attention to some of these names, because you'll be hearing these names in some of these names in university basketball. And here we go. Congratulations to the Jasper Place Rebels, the 2019 Metro Edmonton High School Athletic Association Division I Senior Men's Basketball Champions. So what a great scene here at the T-Bird Gym. You've got Crickey and Pottinger and McLaren, the veterans of this Rebel team, and now they're gonna get a chance to pose with the banner, and we're gonna get a chance to chat with the victorious head coach, Matt Burrows. We'll get a chance to talk to one of the players as well. And, you know, you take a look at the excitement on the players are pumped. What a moment for these Rebels. And you've had a chance to experience this, Steve. What's it like as a player, you know, a grade 11 or, you know, no matter where you are, grade 10, grade 11, but to win a city title, it means a lot.
It's special.
It's unforgettable.
I mean, you're a young player, you're a young guy, and you know this is probably as big a stage as you've been on. You're playing in front of your friends, in front of your family. There's a lot of stuff that plays into this being a very special memory. I remember both my city championships very clearly, and they're two of the more special memories that I have. So for these guys, they might not realize it right now just how much of a cool lifetime experience this is. But these things don't come along that often where you get to play and win and hold up a banner like that with your friends. That's awfully special.
And it's all in your hands too. But I'll tell you, there's, you know, for some of these guys, they're really, when you think about it, they're just at the beginning of their lives here.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's going to come a day where one of these players, when they're sitting in a rocking chair 50, 60 years from now, they're going to look back and they're going to think about the night where it was minus 40 outside.
Exactly right.
But the basketball was fantastic, and it was a lot of warm memories. A lot of cold air outside, but warm memories inside. And every one of these players, you know, years from now or even a couple of days from now are going to reflect back, and they're going to remember their teammates. They're going to remember the game, and they're going to remember some pretty special times. And a fantastic season for the Rebels, obviously winning the title. But we want to congratulate the Harry Ainlay Titans and their head coach, George Hoyt, and their entire team. I mean, it was not the result they wanted, obviously, in this championship game, but a great season for Harry Ainlay.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it's not done for them. They still got Provincials to get ready for, and they still have all that preparation that's going to go into playing something that's very meaningful as well. You can't feel good about tonight if you're Ainlay. I mean, this has to really hurt.
It's a tough one.
But again, when you look back at this stuff, you'd hope that it'll be things of it should bug you and it should gnaw at you. And one of the things that's good at the age that these guys are at is a great remedy for that is, all right, let's get in the gym and let's get back to work. Let's get in the gym and let's compete, and let's put the pressure on each other in the practices leading up to Provincials, where we learn from this that we got to step it up a bit. And I think that's a great lesson for the team that comes up on the short end of a game like this is one of the best fixes for it is I just got to raise my compete level.
And what a great season for the Rebels, for the entire school, really. Yeah. When you think about it, the women's, the women's team was in the title game tonight. They came up short against St. Albert, but things balanced out quite nicely for Jasper Place. And we have the player of the game for the Rebels, Ben Crickey. And Ben, I'm joined by Steve Sir. And first of all, Ben, congratulations to you and your teammates.
Thank you.
Could you have ever imagined this type of result? I mean, you only beat, Harry Ainlay about 2 weeks ago, only by 4. What were you guys able to do tonight in terms of, just taking over early and then dominating the rest of the way?
This last week, we spent a lot of time in practice and film sessions after practice, just getting to know what they do, and offensively and defensively. We knew they wouldn't really be able to handle our zone, and we just played really good defense tonight.
Hey, Ben.
Hey.
We mentioned before that you guys were going with the JP, hey, let's beat them by 40 plan.
Yeah.
So congrats on that.
Thank you.
For you guys, obviously you were prepared. Obviously you were determined as a group. Mm-hmm. Can you share with everybody listening, how do you take all the positives from today and then refocus and get ready for Provincials? Because I got to imagine that's the big goal for this team.
Yeah, for sure. We got 2 weeks practice coming up, and we just want to scout the teams, just get to know them a little bit more, and then just work on our offense a little bit more. We were really crisp tonight, which I thought was really awesome. So
yeah. You also seemed to come out, and you really left the dressing room pretty loose. Like you guys came out pretty confident, and really you trusted your game tonight.
Oh yeah, we just all knew that it would be a group effort tonight, and we did just that, played together and played hard.
Well, what a special year. You've got lots of basketball left to go. We want to congratulate you, Ben Crickey. You're going to hand things over to Coach Burrows, but congratulations to you, the entire team, and the entire school, really, for, you know, both women's and men's. You guys have had a special 2018-2019, and go get them in the Provincials. Congratulations, Ben.
Good job, Benny. Proud of you, buddy.
Let's hand things over to the victorious head coach of the Jasper place. Hello, Matt Burrows. Hey, Kevin and Steve Sir here. Matt, you know, we were having a little bit of a chuckle. You probably drew it up that you'd be up by 17 inside the first 4 minutes, right?
Naturally,
yeah, beat the Titans by 40. That was the plan, right?
Yeah, you know, we had a real tight game with them last week. Last Wednesday we played them. It was a 4-point game, so we were certainly prepared for. That's what we were prepared for again.
Why were you able to get out to such a hot start? I mean, it must have. I mean, you have confidence in your guys. Your team has, obviously, you've completed a perfect season, but that must have been a bit of a shock to you in terms of, the ability to get out to such a great start.
Yeah, you game plan based on what we've seen from them last week, but at the end of the day, like, the guys just came out and worked, and we had played a really tough tournament schedule this year. We played a lot of really good high caliber teams, so I think that helped us a lot in this game and being able to play in like a big game with a big atmosphere and against a real solid team. So I think just our experiences throughout the season and tournaments and our last few regular season games really helped us today.
Coach, congrats. You guys obviously checked off your one box of Let's Win City Championship. I got to imagine that Provincials is the big goal for the group. Can you share with everybody listening how you got to get right back to it and refocus as a team and prepare for the big challenge?
Yeah, so a couple of things with our Provincials. We don't play for another week and a half here, right? Because we're a week early with our city play downs as opposed to Calgary or the South Zone. So we have a little time to enjoy today. And then on Monday to start cleaning things up and moving forward. And we're hosting Provincials in our building, so that's going to be a real special opportunity for us. But we've been ranked 1 all season, so I expect that's where we'll go into Provincials. And, that's just motivation because we know everyone's going to be gunning for us. And, hopefully we can just bear down and focus on the details moving forward.
Well, we certainly want to wish you the best on behalf of ICU Video. We want to congratulate you on this Division I title and want to wish you the best on your home floor in the Provincials in 2 weeks' time. Congratulations once again, Coach Burrows, and all the best to you and the rest of the Rebels.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Great job, Coach.
Well,
thanks.
We want to thank you, and that brings our ICU Video ProCast coverage of the 2019 Metro Edmonton Men's High School Basketball City Championship game to a close. The Jasper Place Rebels capturing the Division I Basketball Championship with a 101-53 win over the Harry Ainlay Titans. We want to thank Sheppard High School, Edmonton Metro Athletics, and of course want to thank my colleague Steve Sir and our entire production crew. We've had an amazing night here at the Sheppard Gym and want to thank you for joining us earlier this evening. The St. Albert Skyhawks won the Division I women's title with a 69-49 win over the JP Rebels. And in the men's Division I championship, which just wrapped up just a few moments ago, it was the Jasper Place Rebels winning 101-53 over the Harry Ainlay Titans. Want to thank you for joining us here with ICU Video and our coverage of the Edmonton Metro Athletic Association. I'm Kevin Donnan for ICU Video. Thank you for joining us, and good night from the Sheppard Gymnasium in Edmonton.